Today I'm going to talk about feeling overwhelmed by a situation that happens in the workplace and how we can keep our control over the situation and make sure that it doesn't happen again. Hello friends, and a big welcome to my channel. If there's anyone new visiting my channel today, an extra big welcome to you, and I hope you'll enjoy our chat and come back for more and more of our times together. I so often hear people saying they're feeling overwhelmed by a situation that's taking place at work. If I get a chance to talk to them, I'll often find that it's probably only one thing that's happened, but it's been the last straw that broke the camel's back. Perhaps you've had a bad week at work. Somebody's been rubbing you up the wrong way all week, making snide remarks that you decided to overlook for the sake of keeping the peace. By the end of the week, Friday, when she adds just one more of her little jabs in the board meeting, you feel ready to explode. You think to yourself, well, it's Friday, the weekend coming up, I'm going to let it go. I'll feel better by Monday. But you actually don't let it go. You take it home with you. You think about it all weekend. You're not in a very good mood. You're feeling stressed, and you probably even take it out on your family. So let's give this a little bit of thought. What actually happened this week? By allowing your colleagues' behavior, you gave away your power. You took on board her remarks, perhaps even wondering if some of them were true. So not only did you feel overwhelmed by the situation, very stressed, you also lost some of your self-confidence. You allowed somebody else's narrative to define you. What could you have done differently? Well, I suppose the first thing you could have done was to defend yourself against her after the very first remark she made in front of all the other staff members. You could have reacted to her. That would have made you look oversensitive, not very professional, and exactly the response she was looking for. Or you could have waited until you had an opportunity to talk to her privately and very calmly brought up the comment that she had made. By speaking quietly and calmly, you're keeping your control over the situation. You then need to ask her what she based her information on that brought up the comment she made. Correct her and then firmly get the message across that you will not allow this type of thing to happen again. By not reacting to her in front of your colleagues at the time and keeping silent, you have already taken away her power. By approaching her privately, you've kept control of the situation. Make sure that she knows that if something like this ever happens again, you will be taking it further. Therefore, still keeping your control on the situation. If you'd done this on the very first day that this occurred, it's very unlikely that it would have occurred again, and you would have had a less stressful week. So I think what we've learned here is to handle an unpleasant situation in the workplace in the first time it happens. Colleagues who do that type of thing, I have found, and I'll share my experience, tend to be bullies. And if you handle them correctly the first time, you'll find they back off and they won't do it again. And you're left with a win-win situation. I hope that some of this is going to be of help to you if you have found yourself in this situation in the workplace. Because I found myself in this situation, and the reason that I'm giving you this advice, if you call it that, is because I didn't do the right thing. I reacted immediately. I reacted with a raised voice, which allowed her to accuse me of humiliating her in front of other staff members, regardless of the fact that she had humiliated me first. If I had kept quiet and I had just taken the advice that I've just given you now, I probably would have stopped her in her tracks, but I didn't. I did the wrong thing. I reacted. When you react to a bully and she sees that, or he sees that they've got your attention, they've got the reaction they're looking for, it's all downhill from there. That same person eventually got a restraining order against me. Even my employer, who knew it was completely untrue that I would have done anything to deserve that, couldn't do anything to protect me. He accompanied me to court, which was so humiliating, in front of the magistrate, and be told to never humiliate my work colleague again. I was wrapped over the knuckles in court because I reacted wrongly in the first instance. Now that situation went on for 5 years until I eventually gave up. That's what I did. I gave up. But I choose to not look on it as giving up. I choose to look on it as making a decision to protect my own mental health from someone who obviously did have mental health problems. I don't think sane people behave that way. But I really do hope that nobody that I know, or none of you, ever find yourself in that situation. It's just too awful for words. So when something like it happens to you, you can spot a bully a mile off. Keep calm. Keep control of the situation. Hold on to your power. The minute you lose your temper, raise your voice, react, you've lost control. You've lost your power. So I hope this has been helpful to you, and I look forward to you coming back to my channel again and for us to have lots more chats. And I hope you have subscribed. Bye for now.